ओम ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुस्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Om. Now in Mulavidya Nirasa, the first chapter, the sixth point, sixth passage we are discussing. I think we just started. We will discuss a little more about it regarding Sushupti. So the Mulavidya Vadi is replying to common man's idea. Common man, common Jignasu, an ordinary Jignasu thought that the Advitiyam of Atma cannot be established by examining the three states, because the second one, Atma being associated with the second, is always there in all the three states. In waking, there is a second to Atma, something second to Atma in waking state. In dream also there is a world. In deep sleep also there is something. In deep sleep also the world is there. This is what common man thought. Common man thought that the world is there in all three states. Therefore, examination of the three states doesn't work. Now, Mulavidyavadi's reply, he partly accepts, partly differs. So, he has got his own prakriya. Mulavidyavadi means the Vyakhyanakaras, the commentators have, commentators means sub-commentators, we have to call them. So, Bhashyakara is a Shankaracharya. So, the sub-commentators have their own prakriya, their own way of examining the state. So, Upanishad says, Gaudapadacharya says, Bhashyakara also say, examination of the avasthas is enough to establish Advitiyam Brahman. That Atma is non-dual can be established by examining the three states. Non-dual means Atma is independent of the world. World as a world doesn't exist apart from Atma. Atma alone remains. This we come to discover by examining the three states. So, for this, what he replies, let us see. Atmanaha karana vidya sambandho asti sushuptau. Now he says, even in deep sleep, Atma is not purely non-dual. That's what his idea is. Atma is not purely all alone. Atma is associated with something. Even in deep sleep, it is associated with something. This is what he is trying to say. Atmanaha karana vidya sambandho asti sushuptau. So this is a very difficult point. Shruti is trying to show, Bhashyakara, Gaudapada and Shruti, that Sushupti is a very beautiful experience. It is a non-dual experience. If you know how to watch, how to understand Sushupti, you can discover right now that you are free from the world. Because Atma being non-dual or being all alone, independent of the world, and world ceases to exist, this experience is a reality, and this reality is in our experience. This you can see directly in your deep sleep. This is what Upanishad, Bhashyakara and Upanishad, Gaudapada and Bhashyakara say. But these people have these Vyakhyanakaras have a very peculiar view. Peculiar view means they missed something. They missed something. So what they say is, Atra Asmadiyaha Kechit. Swamiji says, Asmadiyaha Kechit. They are not totally Dvaitins. They only follow our Advaita Sampradaya within Advaita certain sections. certain section of Advaitins, among us only, Asmadiyaha Kechit, our own people, some of our own people. See, the expression of Swamiji is some of our own people. What do they say? He is accepting the common man's view. What does common man say? Said before, the world is there in all the three states. He says, Satyamaha Bhavan. What you said is true. What is that? Yat jagadidam nishesham sushuptav na praviliyate. The world doesn't dissolve completely in deep sleep. See the note, the point. The world doesn't dissolve completely in deep sleep. Partly dissolves, partly remains. This is what he wants to say. Yataha satatamasau atma samsara dashayam anadya vidya pratibaddha drishtir naiva kartrutva bhoktrutve sasya jatachit jahati. So this is an important point. In fact, he is only presenting Vyakhyanakara's view in this paragraph. The reply will be given later. Sure, I shall remind you how we will go back to this book when the reply starts. Swamiji's reply starts. Point by point, he takes of each of this sentence and discusses elaborately. There, I shall remind you, come back to this number 6 and see the sentence. Each sentence he takes up and discusses. Now he says is, Satatam asau atma. This atma is all the time. Satatam means always. Always is associated with some avidya. Anadi avidya. Now they have got a peculiar idea. Avidya is beginningless. Beginningless series, beginningless chain, they say. Avidya is a beginningless chain according to them. And this chain of avidya, a beginningless chain of avidya, is always associated with Atma. This is the point. When satatam asau Atma samsara dashaya. As long as you are samsari, you are always associated with avidya. This is a very, very peculiar thing. Now if I explain only Vyakhyanakara's view, which is of one page if I explain, it will go for 1 or 2 talks. So afterwards the answer will begin. We don't know when will the answer begin. It may take few more days also. So instead of waiting for so long, I'll just give you briefly as the Vyakhyanakara presents his prakriya. Instantly I point out little bit, more will be discussed later. Okay, he says samsara dashayam. Note each word of this Vyakhyanakara. During the samsara dasha means during the state of samsara, Atma is always associated. Always means invariably and always associated with beginningless chain of avidya. Pratibaddha drishtir, therefore he can never be free from kartru bhoktru. He can never be free from karta bhokta. In waking, he is both karta and bhokta, according to Vyakhyanakara. In waking state, jiva is karta and bhokta. In dream also, he is a bhokta. Deep sleep also he is bhokta. This is what they say. That means you are never free from jivatvam. Yeah, this is what they say. Now it may look that he is right. What he says is right. No, this is where the mistake is. See, what the real prakriya, Shankaracharya's prakriya, Gaudapadacharya's Upanishad's prakriya is, you are free from avidya, you are free from jiva bhava, even now when you think that you are a jiva. See, even when you think you are a jiva, you are free from jivahood. Even when you think that you are ignorant, you are free from ignorance. This is the real teaching. There is no samsara for you even when you are thinking, even when you feel that you are samsari. Even when you feel that you are a samsari, still you are liberated. In your real nature, you are liberated. You are always Brahman, even now when you don't know. Even now when you don't know, still you are liberated. Even when you don't know, you are free from ignorance. This is the real prakriya. Even this way they different. Now what do they say? No, they say differently. You have an avidya. As long as you are in samsara, your avidya is with you. There is no non-duality. Non-duality is a separate experience. It will come later. See the contrast? Non-duality is not a matter of our experience. At the moment, we have no non-dual experience. This is what Vyakhyanakaras say. Gaudapada Shankara's prakriya means it is not that they have designed this prakriya. In Advaita only, there were different minor schools, sub-schools within Advaita. Among the many sub-schools, Shankara comes from one particular school. Shankaracharya learnt it from Govindapada, Gaudapada. He comes in a particular thread within the Advaita. That thread represents the true Advaita. So, we take that Shankara's tradition of Advaita. Within, among the Advaitins, there are minor thin threads within the Advaita tradition. The Shankaracharya's prakriya belongs to his tradition. He got it from his Guru and Paramaguru. And he says, see here, you see, what they say, I am showing you instantly the contrast. Now be a little bit more will be discussed, much more. Whole book is only about this. So first this small point I say, what Mulavidyavadi say, Satatam Atma, all the time Atma is dual, Atma is associated with avidya, which is a beginningless and you can't break it. You always are associated with avidya. You are always karta bhokta. Until you get rid of this thing, so getting rid of this avidya is another experience. You will have to get another experience. Only after getting jnanam, you will be free from avidya. You will be free from avidya only after getting jnanam. Now you are associated with ignorance, a beginningless ignorance. Okay? What Shankara says is, even now you are free from avidya. Even now when you think that you don't know Brahman, still you are free from avidya. That means avidya is not something really there and you have to really remove it. You only have to understand there is no such thing so-called avidya in you, you are already free. Even the avidya is also imposed. What you call avidya is also imposition. Therefore, there is no avidya as it is. You are ever free. Even now, when you think that you are ignorant, you are free from ignorant and you are non-dual. This is the prakriya. Therefore, avidya is not really there and you don't have to really remove. So, Vyakhyanakaras say that you are stuck with avidya as long as you are in jiva, as long as you are jiva, as long as you are ignorant person. After gaining jnanam, then you become Advaita. Until then, you have only Dvaita now. Avidya is always associated with you. See the prakriya difference? If you note this much, more will be discussed later. But this basic point, I just want to touch it. Otherwise, it will be postponed. It may take a long time until we start explaining Siddhanta. People may get conditioned to this Mulavidya Prakriya only. Therefore, I am explaining in the beginning only. Swamiji has explained only this Mulavidya only for pages and then starts Siddhanti. Until then, people have no patience. They get conditioned. So I don't want you to get conditioned. So right from now, beginning alone I shall. Contrast at every stage, sentence, keep contrasting. It becomes clear for you. They say, Satatam asau atma, samsara dashaya. As long as you are in samsara, that means until you gain jnanam. Samsara dashayam means as long as you are in samsara. That means we are in samsara. That means we have not yet gained. Until you gain jnanam. See, samsara dashayam means until you gain jnanam, you are associated with ignorance. Until you gain jnanam, you are stuck with beginningless ignorance. One. You are stuck with beginningless ignorance. So there is no way of seeing you are free from ignorance. The Atma becoming free from ignorance is not possible now. You will see it at a later stage, but not now. Now you are with ignorance. But Shankara's Prakriya says, even now you are free from ignorance. Even when you think that you are with ignorance, you are ignorant. Even now when you think you are ignorant, you are free from ignorance. Ignorance doesn't exist in you. What appears now, it is only a wrong appearance. You are already free. This is the difference. Okay, Kartru Bhoktru also the same. Each sentence, each word of the sentence we have to discuss. If you hold the book, it is good. Otherwise, you can listen to the ideas explained, and you may read some English book or something. Anyway, I have done the first chapter, first or even part of second chapter. I have done translation. I'll show you. So you can avidya pratipatta drishtihi. So he is associated, he is bound by ignorance, he is stuck with ignorance. Kartrutva bhoktrutve naiva jatachit jahati. That means he is never free from being an agent of action, karta. Atma is never free from being a bhokta. That means Atma being a karta is a reality until you gain jnanam. Then bhoktrutvam is a fact. It is a reality. Until you gain jnanam, this is a reality. After gaining jnanam alone, you become free from karta bhokta. This is what Vyakhyanakaras say. But what does Shankaracharya's Prakriya? Even now, when you think you are a karta, you are not really karta. Your kartrutvam is only a thought, a just conception that you are a karta. Except conception, there is no kartrutvam. You are already free from kartrutvam. You are not doing any work, you have not done any work so far. Work means change, modification. Neither you have changed so far, nor you are changing now, nor you will change ever. There is only a thought of change, but there is no real change in you. You are changeless. You are changeless. You think there is a change, there is no real change. Okay? You think you are subject to various experiences. It is only a thought that you are subject to experiences. But in reality, you are never subject to any experiences. This is called bhoktrutva. Now they say, samsara dashayam. This point is important. If you have holding the book, you underline it. Samsara dashayam. As long as you are in samsara. That means until you gain jnanam. It is a period. Until you gain jnanam, you are a jnani. You are ignorant, you are a karta, you are a bhokta. It is a fact. This is the problem. If it is a fact, how can you remove it? That is the problem. If you only thought that you are a karta but you are not, then we can help you. You are not, you only thought wrongly. You are thinking that you are a jiva but you are not jiva. You only think that you are ignorant but you are not. We are not removing the ignorance. We are only thinking, we are only removing, correcting your thinking that you are ignorant. You are only wrongly thinking that you are ignorant. In fact, you are not ignorant. See what a difference it is. It really makes a difference. That's why we call it only adhyaropa. Adhyaropa means what this? It is only a thinking. Adhyaropa means only a thinking, not really being there. See, Kartrutva bhoktritve sasya jatuchit jahati. Appa. See Vyakyanakara's explanation. Jatuchit, never. Naiva jatuchit. In fact, the words should be joined together. Naiva jatuchit. Jatuchit means ever. Naiva jatuchit means never. Never jahati is never free from kartrutva bhoktrutva. Atma naiva kartrutva bhoktrutve swasya jatuchit jahati. Atma is never free from being a karta and bhokta during samsara dasha. But Veda, Shankara's Prakriya says there is no such thing called samsara dasha. Even the so-called samsara, even during the samsara dasha, you are free from kartrutva. You are free from bhoktrutva. You are Brahman eternally, ever Brahman, even now you are Brahman. That's the reality. Then only we say it's simple adhyasa. You're only imposition. The fact is you are already Brahman. You are a self-existing Brahman. Choicelessly you are Brahman. It's not a tentatively Brahman. It is not in another state that you will become Brahman at a later stage. Now you are Jiva. Now you are undergoing kartrutvam. Now you are suffering from kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam. Not that you are ignorant now. And after gaining jnanam, you become jnani. No, ignorance is not a state. Being ignorant is not a state. That you become enlightened at a later stage. So ignorance is not a stage in your life. Ignorance is only a wrong thinking, a misapprehension, a misunderstanding. That's all. If you understand it is a misunderstanding, then you correct it, you are free. Understanding misunderstanding as a misunderstanding is becoming free. Okay, so each sentence has to be patiently. Patient means according to the right prakriya. That's most important. The right guru is required who knows the prakriya rightly. Therefore, kartrutva bhoktrutve swasya jatuchit jahati. This is a magnum opus of Swamiji. And he discusses completely the essential point of essential prakriya of Vedanta. Amazingly he discusses it. By correcting the alternative prakriyas, showing the subtle difference. That's why I hesitated to speak. Now I am speaking slowly, point by point, repeat it, because certain students who are not familiar with them may not understand. So therefore, for sake of them, I repeat. The sharp people get it instantly in one sentence. So they can rest, be relaxed. They don't worry. This is my repeated explanation is for them. So you can relax. You need to have a lot of patience with my explanation, my repetition for sake of others. So kadachit. So the Purvapakshi means this Mulavidya Vyakyanakara say that you are never free from kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam. Satatam, the word you see, satatam asau atma. Atma is always karta bhokta until as long as you are a samsari, as long as you are a jiva. That means jivatvam is a state. And during that you are a karta really, you are a bhokta. See. And samsara dashaya, until samsara dasha. That's why they argue, how can you now Atma is Advitiyam, Atma is free from Karta Bhokta. Now they ask, Atma is Karta Bhokta? Oh, you mean I will become free from Kartrutvam Bhoktrutvam? Oh, you mean I will become free from Avidya, free from Kartrutvam Bhoktrutvam? Yes, they say. But you also told that Atma by its nature non-dual. Yeah, it is non-dual, but you will know it later. But he says, if I am non-dual, I should be non-dual even now, all the time. Satatam. No, you can't be all the time Advitiyam now. Now you are only dual. You are in the state of duality. This is what Vyakyanakaras say. Therefore, Satatam, all the time until you are in samsara. Until you go to the another level, you are all the time in samsara. You are all the time jiva. You are all the time karta bhokta. You are stuck with ajnanam. Satatam asau atma. Samsara dashaya. That means there is no experience in your life which we can show you how you are free from duality. That means freedom from duality is not in our experience. When we discuss with our Mulavidya Vadis here, traditional scholars, see, our people, our Swamiji followers, there was a Sanskrit Pandita Sabha here, and our people told we have to watch our Anubhava. There is Anubhava in us, which shows that you are already non-dual, you are free from dual. You are free from duality, free from kartru bhoktrutva. So if non-duality is my real nature, I should have it right now. Even now I should have it. But they say no. How can you have experience of non-duality now as long as you are a samsari? As long as you are a samsari, jiva associated with the body, mind and sense organs, there is no experience of non-duality. We cannot show you an experience of non-duality. In fact, it doesn't exist now. Non-duality is an experience, will come little later. After gaining jnanam alone, it will come. Now we can't show you. Now you are in duality and you will see only duality. No experience of non-duality. Common man, ordinary man, ignorant person cannot have an experience of non-duality. This is what Mulavidya Vadans say. In Gaudapada Shankara's tradition, Upanishad and Gaudapada Shankara's tradition says, there is an anubhava of non-duality. It is a self-existing anubhava. It is a self-evident anubhava. This anubhava exists even now. Even now there is such an anubhava. It is not an anubhava you have to acquire. You have to gain it. It doesn't need to be gained. Aheyam anupadeyam. You don't need to gain that anubhava. Non-duality is you. Right now you are. We can show you right now. That is the thing. So, this is the difference. What is that? Sushupti is a direct experience. Sushupti is an experience even a common man have, every person has. There is no person who doesn't have an experience of non-duality. In fact, Sushupti or deep sleep is non-duality. It is Brahmatvam. It is a non-dual Brahma. Common man calls it as deep sleep. What common man calls as deep sleep is non-dual Brahman. Now you can't say that non-dual Brahman, non-duality is an experience, comes later, but now it is not an existing fact, you can't say. Our Prakriya says non-duality is a fact, even now you have. If you can pay attention, you can see it. Thing is, people ignore it. Don't look at that way. But right now it is there. It is there in your Anubhava. Non-duality is an ever-existing fact. Self-evident fact. These people say, during samsara, that means until your ignorance lasts, until you gain jnanam, you have no non-dual experience. Experience of non-duality, a jiva and ajnani doesn't have. Where is that? Sushupti is that anubhava. They say no. Sushupti is not an experience of non-duality. Partially duality subsides, but not completely, they say. They say duality subsides to a large extent, but a small portion, a minute portion of duality remains according to Mulavidya Prakriya. Okay? Duality remains in waking thoroughly well, in dream also partially, but in deep sleep, at least in a minutely duality remains. You can never be free, totally free from duality. Therefore, you have no experience. All our experiences are reduced to three: waking, dream and deep sleep, because these three include all other experiences. So if you examine these three, it is as good as examining all our experiences. Okay. Therefore, but so if non-duality is a reality, it should be there in one of these three. If non-duality is my real nature should always be visible somewhere in one of these three experiences. They say Vyakhyanakara says, sorry, you have no experience of non-duality right now. Right now you have all the experiences you have, all the states you have are only of duality. Waking is a state of duality, dream is a state of duality, deep sleep is a state of duality. All the three are duality. Of course, in that duality there is a little difference. In the waking world there is a bright duality, dream that is a little dimmer duality, but in deep sleep there is a thin down duality. The second one becomes very thin down, but not totally free, not completely free. This is what their prakriya. Mulavidya Nirasa, one book you listen, you become jnani, I tell you. It's an amazing book. One book you just study, you are become free, instantly free. So, yadyapi sarva paricheda shunyaha iva drishyate sushuptam. See, Vyakhyanakara says, although sushupti looks as if you are totally free from duality, totally free from duality, you are non-dual, it looks as though, but it is not true. Oh my God. What is open experience of everybody? Still he denies it. One side he says, it looks as if it is totally free from duality, but you should not take it that way. You should not consider it as a state of non-duality, although it looks like that, although it appears to you, although you experience it, you intuitively experience it as non-duality only, but still you should not take it. You should see that a little bit of a thin edge of a thin layer of avidya remains, addition to Atma, this much you have to accept. So he is denying the experience, covering up the experience to prove that duality continues in a thin, in a very minutely, even in deep sleep. That means that he refers to it as an experience of duality, but explains as an experience. No, he refers to Sushupti as an experience of non-duality. Sorry, I'm correcting my statement. He refers to the Sushupti as an experience of non-duality, but considers it as an experience of duality. See, you refer to it as non-duality, but consider it, take it as an experience of duality only. Why? Why this denial? Why this reinterpreting differently? This is where their mistake is. He says, it although appears to be yadyapi sarva paricheda shunyaiva drishyate, yadyapi, although it is no doubt true that deep sleep appears as free from all duality, not even the minutest duality present in deep sleep. Deep sleep appears to be completely non-dual, yet you should not take it. Why? This is the problem. One side he admits it, because how can he refuse? It is everybody's experience. When it is every matter of everybody's experience, how can he fail to see it? He refers to it, though it appears to be an experience of non-duality, but you should not take it. Why should I not take it? Why should I not take it? He doesn't explain the reason. Why should? Probably he may explain, we'll see later. So, he says it appears as a non-dual. That's what we mean. Appears means what? This is what you experience deep sleep to be a non-dual experience. That's what we are referring. He says, true, it is true, it appears like non-dual, but it is not. Why? You take it as a pen and you show the pen, yeah, this appears to be a pen, but you should not take it as a pen. Why should I not take? Why should I not consider it as a pen? When I see it as a pen, it is a pen. Why should you deny the very experience which you are referring as non-dual experience, yet you, in interpretation, you deny it. In your explanation, you deny it. This is the mistake Vyakhyanakaras are doing. See, yadyapi sarva paricheda shunyaiva drishyate sushuptau tathapi tadanimapi vidyate evasya mityabhuta ajnana sambandha. Though Sushupti appears to be an experience of non-duality, yet you should not take it because there is a relationship of avidya. There is avidya there. Therefore, tathat, he says, mithyabhuta ajnana sambandha. So Atma is in association with that false ignorance. This false ignorance expression is of Vyakhyanakaras only. Ajnana, which is false ignorance. So this is expression of them only. It is a term, technical term reserved to them only. When I say a false ignorance, mithya ajnanam, false ignorance, remember it is only expression of Mulavidya Vadins. Okay, so sarva paricheda shunyaiva drishyate tathapi. Yet it is not. Though it appears, yet it is not. This, I think, grammatically you can't repeat it. Though and yet you can't use simultaneously. But for sake of Sanskrit, you have to go with the Sanskrit expression, you have to use both. So just for sake of Sanskrit, I am using it. Though in English it is wrong grammatically. So tathapi tadanimapi vidyate eva asya mithyabhuta ajnana sambandha. Yet Atma is connected to false ignorance even in deep sleep. One side he says deep sleep is an experience of non-duality, but don't take it as a non-duality and see that you are associated with ignorance. A second factor other than Atma, some second factor is associated. Take it that way. You refer to the experience of non-duality, but take it as a duality. This is the prakriya they have. Okay. We'll go slowly and repeating the points 10 times because I have to cater to all kinds of students of different levels. So they take long time to understand, slowly, point by point. A small point repeated 10 times, it registers them. Okay, so I think this point, I stop at this point. We'll discuss in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Our what you call Saptaha is over. Swamiji's Jayanti Saptaha we call. Means Jayanti means his birthday. Birth time was on the 4th. We have established a Shankara's Murti Vigraha in Swamiji's Samadhi because Swamiji wished that right from the beginning that there should be a Shankara Murti over his head, and when it is Abhisheka is done, the water should fall on me, and the Abhisheka Jalam, Pavitra Jalam should fall on me. That's what because he had a great love and respect for Shankara Bhashyam and Shankaracharya. Therefore, so due to some reason, it got disturbed now. A new Murti of Shankaracharya is brought and installed here. So we had a function, the Abhisheka and so many other things, Kumbha Abhisheka and all that. Now yesterday it was finished. Now we can continue regularly our Mulavidya classes. I hope to have every day, if not every day, at least alternate days. Okay? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.